Yeah, man, I drank for 22 years, and the thing, I'm a fucking alcoholic, you know, and it's kind of well known, at least throughout the music world, the metal world, you know. I made no attempt to hide it whatsoever.
You were pretty out of control after shows.
Yeah, man. And, you know, I've been really open about the fact that I'm sober now, and it's not like people wouldn't be able to figure it out. It's because I'm able to walk upright now. You know, I'm not fucking passed out or whatever. But I had a long struggle with alcohol, and I wrote a chapter about it. Kind of like at the beginning of the book, I dedicate the book to anyone struggling with drugs or alcohol, because there is a better way. You know, I've found that. I've been sober almost 5 years now.
Nice.
And, you know, I drank for 22 years and I'm a run-of-the-mill drunk, and I wrote a chapter to like sort of explain my alcoholism, and I made an attempt to explain it for non-alcoholics so they could kind of understand it, because, you know, I don't come from an alcoholic family. I wasn't abused as a kid. I don't blame like, oh, my parents got divorced and, you know, we didn't have money and, you know, no one liked me and I wore hand-me-down clothes or whatever, you know. That's like, that's not why I'm an alcoholic. I don't know why I'm an alcoholic. I don't fucking care why. It doesn't do me any good to know why. The only thing that does me any good is not drinking, you know. So I explained, you know, from my viewpoint, like why people drink and continue to do drugs when it's killing them. And it's because, and most people I think look at people who have a drug or alcohol problem and they say, why don't they just stop? You know, it's because you're fucking crazy when you're fucked up. Like literally, at least I was, man. My perceptions were so warped that I was like, oh yeah, I'm an alcoholic. Look what I do for a living. But it's not really understanding that like I could not stop. I couldn't stop because I was fucking crazy, you know? And I look at it in retrospect and I'm just like, oh, you know, that's why you kept on drinking and pissing off every single person around you, pissing them off and, you know, upsetting everyone around you. It's because you were out of your fucking mind, you know? So I kind of described that to kind of like maybe explain to people that it's not just like, oh, that dude drinks too much.
Right.
You know? I mean, I certainly drank myself to the point where I couldn't stop drinking. I have no one to blame for that. But I certainly, when I was a kid, I would have stopped long before I did if I could have, if I wasn't nuts, you know? When I was a kid, I never said, when I grow up, I want to be an alcoholic and piss everyone off and, you know, really worry my family and all that stuff. I never wanted that, but that's the way it is. You know?
Yeah, because, I mean, Lamb of God has these DVDs where they show, like, backstage stuff. Like Randy's getting in fights with his band members, and it's documented and stuff because he's so out of control, drinking and all that stuff.
Yeah. And
Wow.
And then, you know, put that out on DVD and stuff. And
yeah, and that to you know, qualify that, you know, people are like, oh my God, you know, these two band guys are fighting. Every band does that, right? We're every fucking band does that. I don't know hardly any bands that haven't gotten in a fucking,
One Direction.
Yeah, you know, that haven't gotten a fist fight over the years. We were just happened to have a camera on it at the time, and that was reality. We're really open, trying to like bust the whole rock star myth apart.
But I would assume the rest of the band was partying, no?
Oh yes.
Oh, okay.
They are drunk and like it's,
so they have some responsibility in this as well.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, I'm sticking up for Randy
Wait,
because I haven't met the rest of the.
Oh yeah.
Fist fight.
Oh, yeah, this fist fights.
Where's the video on that?
And then what? You guys would just get on stage the next day like
Nothing happened?
Nothing happened?
I woke up the next day with a broken nose because my guitar player Mark broke my nose, and I walked to the bathroom and said it. And he wasn't able to. He had to go we had to play without him that night because at one point I slammed him on the concrete and fucked his shoulder up, and it still hurts him sometimes to this day, and my nose is still a little bit crooked. But like, I mean, we're bros. You know what I mean? We're like really tight friends, and like. It was like 12 years ago or something, and people see us on tour, and they're like, we're talking, sitting beside each other. They're like, I can't believe you guys are sitting next to each other. It's like, are you stupid? It's like 12 years ago. You know, we were drunk. We got in a fight.
You got through it.
Get over it,
Right.
you know?
What made you get sober? Can I ask you that?
Because I didn't want to live anymore.
Oh, wow.
Like, I was in Australia. I woke up. I write about this in the book, too. My last night of drinking, I woke up in Australia, and we were on tour with, like, the biggest metal band in the world, main support for them. And I woke up in Australia in Brisbane with a real bad hangover, and it was a beautiful day. And I was in this hotel right down the street from the Brisbane Botanical Gardens, which is gorgeous. And they have all these weird exotic plants and like strange animals. And like there's awesome restaurants right by the hotel. One of my favorite bookstores used to be right there. And I woke up, gorgeous day, and I walked out on the balcony all hungover. I have a cigarette, and I looked around, and I was like, I don't feel like doing anything, like nothing. I don't feel like breathing anymore. You know, I was just empty inside. So I was like, I gotta stop. I didn't know if it would fix me, but I was like, I gotta do something different. You know, so I quit drinking on tour, and that night I walked on stage in front of about 15,000 people, still hungover, like basically mentally falling to pieces. And like playing, you've seen us. It's like this heavy metal show, and I'm like, it's really aggressive, and I'm like crying, like trying not to like show my face because I'm like, my brain is fucking melting. It's like I've been drunk for 22 years, and I'm having like this my first day of being sober. I'm on stage in front of 15,000 people doing my job, and like, you know, I had enough hair so I could kind of hide my face so people couldn't tell I was.
So you're
like,
detoxing in front of everybody, basically.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
crazy.
And would you drink before you went on stage? Have a couple?
Yeah, I mean, I drank so I could eat in the morning.
Really?
Oh yeah, I couldn't at the end of my drinking. I couldn't get any food down unless I had a beer first or something. You know, it was like that.
Wow.
You know? I was lucky that I didn't get hard DTs. I've seen people. Alcohol and benzos are the only two substances that I know of that can kill you from withdrawals. Like heroin, coke, meth, all that stuff. It'll just make you feel like you want to die, but like alcohol and like Xanax, benzos and stuff, that can actually kill you from withdrawals. So I'm lucky in that, you know, I have a pretty strong, I guess, constitution, and my body processed the alcohol quick enough. I never got DTs.
So how many more shows did you have to do sober before you could go away and just be alone with this?
A month.
You had a month on the road?
Yeah, I spent my first month on tour.
Was that hell?
No, it was like, I mean, it was really fucking weird.
No, I mean going through the withdrawals and all that. I mean, obviously,
physically, but like I said, I didn't have the DTs, but like physically, I mean, the alcohol. Give yourself a lot of sleep, regular food, and some vitamins. Within a week, your body's gonna start being okay. You know, the problem though lies in your mind. You know, it's because alcohol's out of you, you know. You aren't going to have these, it's not going to be in your system after a few days, you know, nothing. Generally 24 hours it's going to be out, but it'll be fully out at least by a week. But it's your mind, it's a son of a bitch, you know, because despite all evidence to the contrary, and I tried like for 4 years to quit drinking before I finally stopped. Yeah. I tried for 4 years. And like I would come home and not drink because my wife had had enough of my shit. You know, I don't know why she's still with me. I love you, honey. But she put up with me for a long time, right? And like, but she had, you know, she's not going to put up with me drinking because I was fucked up. I come home, break the house apart, you know, just not a nice dude. So I would come home and sober up. Well, by sober up, I mean not drink. I'd still be eating pain pills as fast as I could to maintain. And then when Lamb of God would go on tour, I wouldn't get through security at Richmond International Airport before I'm at the bar. Give me Heineken, give me Jägermeister, boom, 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 boom. And I'm gone for, 5 weeks, 8 weeks on tour, completely fucked up the whole time. And then come home and have to sober up, right. on the way back, So I mean, it was brutal, you know? It's like this constant roller coaster, and staying fucked up for me is a lot of work. It's a lot of work, like, especially since everybody was done with me drinking. It's like, you know, I got to hide my drinking. I got to hold it together enough to do my job. If it's late, I got to figure out where to get liquor or whatever drugs I want. It's a lot of thinking about, like, a liquid.
Yeah.
Now, if I don't have coffee in the morning, I'm an asshole, right? But that's easy enough to fix. You know, I don't have to hide my coffee
So
consumption.
what do you do with all that time now? All that.
A lot of fucking shit. I have an awesome life, dude. I'm not gonna lie. It's fucking rad.
I guess
I write books. I just had a photography opening like a few months ago in New York. I had, you know, my first photography show was in a gallery in Soho.
Yeah,
people
that's pretty cool.
don't get their whole life don't get to show in New York.
What kind of photography you do?
Mostly street photography.
Nice.
Like, I don't do studio stuff. I like try to capture stuff. I write music. I composed 2 pieces for the Richmond Ballet.
Wow.
It's fucking crazy. Like the art ballet world, they dug it. You know, I wrote a book. I do a lot of shit.
I didn't ask the question properly. I got a great answer, but like I guess socially, because you know when you're partying and drinking and stuff, now you're not being social on that level. So how did you replace that? You know what I mean? Like now everyone's going to the bar or the after party.
I'll tell you. You know, I'm 44 years old. The bar doesn't hold much interest for me anymore, especially when the people you go to the bar with tell you the same thing 5 times in a row. Man, did you see that?
But that's because you're sober.
Yes. And I'm like, oh, God, dude. Yes, bro. I know you love me. Get off me. Right. Get off me. You know? Come on. You know? No, for me, like, it's like, for me, drinking, like, going to the bar, that's one of the things that people have this big problem with when they first get sober. They're like, what am I going to do with all my time? What am I going to do with all my time? Anything you want to, because if you drank like me, all you're doing is drinking. That's all you're doing. And I've wasted thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars on alcohol and drugs and, you know, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of hours in a bar talking to someone about something completely insignificant.
That didn't matter.
It does not matter whatsoever.
One other question. Why do some people never have that moment like you did in Australia?
I don't know, bro, and it breaks my heart because I have friends die every year. We're all getting older. None of us are getting any younger. And if you continue to party, like, I should be dead a million times over. I've snorted enough shit, eaten it, smoked it, drank it to kill all of you motherfuckers in this room. Like that, you know what I mean? And for some reason, I'm still alive. But
that breaks my heart too.
My friends die, dude.
I went to a funeral
year.
up in Rochester last year, and it was a guy that just couldn't stop and never had that moment, had kids and everything, and he ended up fucking falling down a flight of stairs.
Dude, it breaks my heart.
And you wonder why they don't have that moment of clarity where, like, wow, what the fuck am I doing?
Was there a point where the band was saying, "Look, dude, if you don't get your shit together, we're gonna move on without you"? Did that play into it at all?
No,
never.
I don't give a fuck what my band says. Like, they've never been able to tell me in alcoholism, in sobriety, nothing. They don't. You know, one time they came to me because we really weren't getting along, and my drummer came to me, and he said in L.A., and he was like, "Look, dude, if you'll dial back the drinking, we'll try not to be so like asshole-ish, because they're fucking assholes, right? In a lot of ways. It's a feeding. We fed each other." You know, and we get along, you know, pretty well now.
Right.
But it was like automatic, like they're going to be an asshole, and I'm going to use that as an excuse to drink more, and then I'm going to turn more into an asshole, and then it's just going to snowball. But no, the band, nobody telling me anything. You know, my family wanted me to quit drinking. My wife wanted me to quit drinking. You know, the neighbor wanted me to quit drinking. You know,
That's serious drinking when your neighbor's like, hey, man.
I would love to talk to the neighbor.
The Pope,
That'd be a great interview.
the Pope could come down and be like, yo, stop drinking. You know, I'll be like, I don't, fuck you, Pope.
Yeah.
Fuck off. You know, carry your ass back to the Vatican. Why don't you mind your own business? I'm having a beer.
We,
Yeah.
we got a guy from North Carolina. He wants in badly. We got Randy Blythe from Lamb of God in studio. Go ahead, Chad.
Hey, what's up, Randy?
Hey.
Chad, Wrightsville, man.
Yeah!
You know this guy?
My surfing homie, bro. I talk to him all the time. What's up, bro?
Hey, you guys. Hey, good to hear from you, man. I was just working on my rental house out here, and I heard you on the radio talking about drinking.
Yeah.
You guys, this guy is the real deal. He helped me get sober about a year ago.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
And, dude, this guy's got a heart of gold. So I just wanted to call in and let everybody know that, you know. So
Oh, man.
continue on with the good stories. And once you get back here, bro, let's go surf.
Yes, yes. Don't get bit by the sharks, man.
I think
Oh, man, I'll try not to, bro. Try not to.
Are you catching any waves?
I've been working a lot, dude. I'm working on this rental house right now.
Yeah.
So, and the waves are really, really small right now, so you're not missing anything.
Good.
So,
I'll be
but
back.
dude, I love the shit out of you, and dude, you're the man.
Love you
guys.
too, bro, man. I'll see
Yeah.
you. I'll see you down in the Cape Fear, man. We'll rip some lefts, all right?
I can't wait. Hey, this guy. That's the thing is this guy, man. You guys asked him, what do you do with all your free time?
Yeah.
We have so much fun surfing together.
Yeah.
So that's what we do when we're sober.
Yes,
So
sir.
everybody out there,
Amazing.
get sober.
Nice.
It's fun.
But what about the shark? I think it's one shark biting everybody. You got
No,
one
North
shark down
Carolina.
there.
Bye, Chad.
Yeah. You know that shark from that cartoon back in the day? That
Yeah.
came up and
Yeah.
Scared everybody?
Yeah.
That's him.
Yeah.
Could you
notice he's only biting tourists. I
Exactly.
think, you
Oh,
know.
really? So he's a local.
Yeah.
And bush pigs, right?
Yeah, and bush pigs.
You guys got to hate the tourists down in North Carolina. I did the Outer
Uh,
Banks for many years. Loved
We
it
like
down
the
there.
pretty ones.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
We like the pretty ones.
You like the
We
pretty
used-
ones?
I used to have a bumper. We used to have bumper stickers that said, "Welcome to Wrightsville Beach. Thanks for bringing your daughters. Now leave." Come here, girl. Holler at me.
All right,
Hey,
Chad.
well, look, man, continue the stories. I love you, bro.
Love you too, man.
Yeah,
Cool.
all right?
Hey,
Hey,
Randy, was it
Hey.
when you got sober? Did it definitely help with your whole situation when you went to jail and all that stuff?
Absolutely.
Like if you were fucked up, it would have been a
Yeah,
whole
dude,
different
it-
thing.
You know, the whole thing is like when I got sober, I had to like start looking at my life, and you know, I mean, I wasn't the worst dude in the world. I wasn't like, you know, the Attila the Hun of alcoholics, like raping and pillaging and murdering and, you know, destroying people's lives. But I did some damage, you know, and I had to like look at myself and start holding myself accountable, you know, like, because like, I mean, dude, within my band, you know, within my relationships, I wasn't always present. I wasn't always, you know, and I wasn't always the nicest guy. So I had to start looking at myself very seriously, you know, and being like, okay, you fucked up here. You know, you need to try and make this right, you know, because I used to say, oh, I'm sorry. It won't happen again. You know, people don't want to hear I'm sorry anymore because they've heard it a million fucking times. So I'm not going to say, I'm sorry, it'll never happen again. I'm just going to try and live the right way, and then people will be like, oh, it's been a couple of years since he's like tried to catch my hair on fire or, you know, wrecked my car or whatever. He's cool now, right?
Just got to get some time.
So like, yeah, you gotta
Between
give it some time. You gotta show. Don't speak. You know, your actions speak louder than words. So like, when I got sober, I realized, you know, if someone is trying to quit something, like whether it's eating too much pizza or drinking or smoking crack or whatever it is, I'm not going to say you can never do that for the rest of your life, because that sounds like a fucking cop to me, right? You know, like a judge. And, you know, I don't like to be told that stuff. But what I can say to someone is like, hey, can you not eat that piece of pizza for the next 5 minutes? Sure, someone can do that for 5 minutes. And then another 5 minutes goes by, and you take it in small increments. And, you know, sometimes 1 minute at a time. You know, 1 minute, 1 hour, 1 day at a time, 1 week at a time. I'm not going to drink for the rest of the day, you know?
Right.
I can do that for 24 hours.
That's baby steps.
It is. It's
all,
baby
what
steps.
about Bob?
If I start thinking too far in the future, man, I'm fucked.
Right.
You know?